Hi, today's theme is exploring techniques to improve our practice. We're going to be looking at some of our basic exercises. I'm going to break down some of those basic exercises to help to improve how we do them, perhaps to help to make things a little bit more comfortable. We're going to be doing some exercises standing first, and then we'll translate them down onto the mat and see if we can help to utilise some new techniques to help some of our older basic exercises, or traditional mat exercises I should say. Okay, so we're going to be spending most of the time with our legs in what we call Pilates stance, or as it used to be called military stance. So we're going to think about that as a slightly more active stance for standing and also when we're on the mat. So not only will it challenge your balance a little bit standing, but it'll also help to give you a little bit more connection, a little bit more support, a little bit more stability. Okay, so we're going to bring the heels together if we can get them together, or as close together as we can find them, with our toes slightly apart. Okay, so we're going to feel our feet grounded into the floor, tall through our crown. And we just notice that perhaps more weight will be over the heels as opposed to the toes in this position. We're going to draw the heels together, squeezing them together, and feel a zip up through from the heels, past the knees to the top of the legs. We're going to feel that squeeze is creating a little turnout, a little spiral out from the hip joints at the top of the legs. We might also feel a drawing and narrowing of the sit bones around the back. And we want to keep that sense of connection. We want to feel our thigh muscles just gently drawing in, as if we're putting on tight high jeans. So we've got that squeeze inwards, that gentle lift up, that connection from our centre. Okay, so just see if we can keep that gentle lifting sensation, squeezing sensation, and use that for support. Okay, we're going to bring the arms round to the side. We're going to start with a little spinal warm up. We're going to tip over to one side, one elbow pointing down, one elbow pointing up. Pause there, see if we get a little bit more range of movement. Breathe and restack. Go on, nice long neck. Press the head into the hands. Side bend to the other side. Pause there, see if we get a little bit more of a side bend. Breathe and restack. Shoulders down, long neck, as if you're pulling the back of your skull up towards the ceiling. Lengthening into that curve. Shoulders down, long neck, press into your hands. See if you get a little bit more range. And one more, breathing in. And side bend. Finding all of that range. Head into the hands. Long neck, restack. Good, let's take the arms around and back by the sides. Okay, so we're going to think about the exercise curl-ups, and we're going to practice this standing and just see if we can find a technique that maybe helps to make it a little bit more comfortable, because often we can get neck pain, neck tension in this exercise, and the curl-ups we use for lots of exercises, single leg stretch, double leg stretch, hundreds, lots of exercises involving the curl-up. So if we can make it a little better, improve our comfort, then we can hope to make the exercise better. Okay, so we've got that heel connection, grounded, squeezing, lifting. We're going to bring one hand, so the thumb is pointing down to the sternal notch there. So your kind of thumb just rests in that sternal notch, and then you're going to bring your chin onto your little finger. Okay, so you've got the palm facing forwards, you've made a fist, thumb down, little finger up. So you're going to bring the other hand, the heel of your hand into the small of your back. Try and find the base of your ribs with the heel of your hand, and your fingers down the back, the back of your pelvis there. Okay. So we're going to find that squeeze of the heels, that connection, that lift, that zip up. Take a breath. We're going to nod the chin, and notice that because your hand is in the position, your neck is not able to flex too far. We need to flex through that upper spine. And as we flex through that upper spine, imagine you're kind of looking over a cliff edge, you want to stretch out that lower back so you're feeling it growing longer in your hands. Almost like you're pushing your fingertips away and drawing the heel of your hand up, pushing your ribs up. Okay, so notice the difference between rounding your back and pushing into your hand, but stretching that lower back. And you want to keep your pelvis directly over the top of your feet, so you're not pushing your bottom back. Okay, so your lower back hasn't moved, your tummy is connected, you've found that rounded upper spine, you've got that squeeze of the heels, you've got that drawing in sensation of your tummy. You've found your curl up position, basically, in standing, and then we're going to restack and rebuild. Okay, so I'll do it from the side so you can see the shape of my spine, see where my body is. Take a breath. We do that again, so we've got that connection to begin with, nodding, and pretty soon that movement comes into the upper back, between the shoulder blades, rounding through those ribs. You're stretching out that lower back, or feeling that stretching, encouraging that stretching and lengthening of the lower back. That tummy is engaged. Breathing in and restack, rebuild. Okay, let's do that again. Change hands if it's a bit uncomfortable. Thumb down, heel of the palm facing forwards, heel of the hand facing forwards. The other hand in the small of the back. Find the ribs, find the back of the pelvis. Stretch that area out. Keeping that in mind, where that lower back is staying still, staying flat. Take a breath. Nodding down. Rounding that upper back. Keep rounding until you feel that stretching. And see if you can kind of tease that lower back section a little flatter, a little longer. Looking over that cliff edge, rounded through your spine, we take a breath, and then restack back up through your spine. Okay, let's stand at the front of the mat now. We're going to find a way to come down to the floor. And we take a step back, bring the knee down, the second knee down, and return. Foot, push the floor away, step up. Alternate the legs. Step, lower the one knee, lower the second knee, and return. Okay, if that's not an option to you, you could try stepping to the back of your mat, rolling down, walking your hands forwards to come down onto your knees, and then rolling back. So we're just going to explore coming down and coming back up to the mat. Another way that you might want to try is crossing the feet, bending the knees, coming down onto your bottom from there, and using the hands to help to come back up again. So 3 movements to get down, up and down from the mat. Okay, so exploring those, and the next time you're down on the mat, we're going to stay down on the mat. Okay, so we're going to be fully supine, straight legs on the mat. We're going to find that position with the heels are together. We've got that little V shape of the feet, and as we squeeze those heels together, so we don't obviously have the feedback of the floor, so we're going to softly point the toes. So softly point the toes away, heels together, squeezing, drawing in, and as we feel that drawing in with that sparring out from the hips, might feel a little bit more of those sit bones drawing in, narrowing. Okay, so we've got that energy through the legs. We're going to think about that lower back being flat, neutral, and we can have a go at finding that curl up position from lying down now. So arms are down by your sides, so we're going to keep some energy through the fingertips on long straight arms. So we're going to take a breath. As we breathe out, before we lift the head, you're going to slide the back of the head up the floor. So you've got that chin tuck, and then you're going to peel your head up. You're going to slide your fingers along the mat and lift your hands and reach your fingertips. Go think about that lower back getting longer, getting flatter. Just see if you've got a little bit more height possibly, and those ribs drawing down. Good, pause there, energy through those legs, drawing those heels together. Keep drawing those heels together until you feel the feet just start to get a bit lighter. Not coming off the floor, just a little lighter, and then let those heels become heavily, let the arms come down, the shoulders, the head. Okay, let's try that again. Breath in, heels squeezing, and that energy through the legs, sit bones narrow, slide back of the head first, then peeling up, reaching through, get that lower back flatter, longer, but not pressing down, so you've not gone into a tail tuck. And the position of the legs will help to try and avoid that tail tuck. Good, reaching, looking, energy through those legs and just feel them get a little bit lighter. Maybe even a little float off the floor. Breathe and then lower those heels, arms, shoulders and head. So it's starting to look a bit like the 100. And let's, if we're happy, go straight into that exercise. Take a breath. Energy through the heels, squeezing, sit bones narrowing, tone building, slide the back of the head first, peeling up through the spine, get that lower back long, raise the arms. Can we keep that energy building through the legs until they get lighter and bring the legs up to a position where you can maintain. Inhale, pulse the arms, exhale, pulse the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that energy through the legs. And out, 3, 4, in and out, in and out. Last 20, last 10. Lower the feet with control. Lower the hands, peel down through the spine, bring the knees in. Draw and squeeze, a little rock side to side, a little massage in that lower back. Good, let's take those feet down, slide the feet away. Okay, can we now rock up to a seated position? Peel up, rock up to sitting. Place your feet hip width apart, flat on the floor. Hold the legs, sit yourself up tall, find those sit bones free, any flesh from under those sit bones. Grow tall through your spine, draw your shoulders back, your chest through your shoulders, and find those knees hip width apart. So we're going to do roll backs. Breathing in as you prepare, and then as you breathe out, roll that tailbone under, scoop that tummy in and peel back until the arms are straight. Okay, just holding the back of the knees there, breathing in. And hold as you breathe out. Settle the shoulders. One more breath in. And breathing out. Travel forwards towards your knees. Find those sit bones. Peel yourself up. Pull yourself up tall. Let's do that again. A breath in. Roll that tailbone under. Peeling down, if you can, either just onto that lower back towards the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, or until the feet feel like they're going to come off the floor, and press those feet down into the floor. So don't come up, don't go down so far as the feet want to come off the floor, or come off the floor. Breathe. Good, one more breath. And as you breathe out, travel forwards. Pick yourself up, sit yourself up tall. Okay, we're going to do that again. Rolling back. Scooping, rolling, peeling down. Pause there for 2 breaths. Press those feet down. This time without holding on the legs, travel forwards and grow tall. Okay, so we're going to come down to the mat to a count of 10. So we're going to do a slow peel down, and your head is going to come down to the floor on number 10. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in. And we're going to start to tuck under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with control, 8, 9 and 10. Lay your head down. Take the legs straight again, back into that Pilates stance. Heels are together. We're going to do roll-ups now. We draw those heels together, find that energy, that tone, that support. Reach the, softly point the toes, reach the legs long. Take the arms back, take a breath in. Now in one exhale, we're going to peel up. Arms first, curl up, roll yourself up and sit tall at the top. Take a breath, roll yourself down, peeling down. So if you need a little assistance, we could try utilising one leg. Same movement, arms first, curl up, breathing out. Can you bring one leg in, grab hold of that leg and push that heel away to help yourself to come up. And you might need that leg again to help to support yourself to lower down. So think of pressing that foot away, use the weight of the legs and the hold on the leg to help. Okay, so there's a method to try and help you to come up. Another method, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, if you can come up easily with that first method, is to bring the arms up, the curl up, and as you curl up, float the feet in, hold the back of the legs and keep the feet off the floor as you roll and pull yourself up, so you end up sitting in the balancing, rolling like a ball start position. When you're there, try and draw the shoulders back and try and lift the neck, lift the chin rather. Pull those knees in a bit tighter if you can and keep that balance, which I'm struggling with. Good. And then you're going to return the same way. So as we tuck the tailbone, scoop the tummy, start to send the legs away to shift that weight point to help to balance as we peel down the lower back, the heels, the head. Let's try again. Arms back, take a breath. So coming up again on an exhale, not holding our breath. Curl up arms, bring the feet in, draw them in, pull yourself up, sit yourself tall, balancing on those sit bones, a breath in there, and then returning. Tuck that tailbone to begin with, send the legs away, let that lower back come down, the heels, finally the shoulders and the head. Okay, let's do that again. Curl, draw those knees in, pull yourself up, and peel it up. So we're going to go into rolling like a ball. So keep that tummy drawn in, still got a long curve, so we're not tucking the chin in, we're going to find that long neck, we've got that drawing in sensation, that hollow deep scoop that we need to keep throughout, and that pelvic floor is lifted, and we're keeping our body held together in this position. But just notice, is there any tension that you can let go of? Not tension but connection. Okay, when you're ready, inhale to roll back, and exhale to return, aiming to come back to a balance. Inhale and exhale. Good. See if you roll a little further back, coming onto your shoulders, and as you return, come down to your feet at a controlled method. Let's try that again. And we're looking for the. We're going to give ourselves the idea that maybe we could end up standing, or at least getting a little lift of your bottom up, or coming into a small squat, that we might be able to end up on the feet. Okay. You can change the position of your feet, you can use your arms, maybe you can just get a little lift for a moment. I'm just being careful as you do this, and I'm going to be a little bit limited because I've got a wall in front of me that I'm perhaps not going to be able to get to a standing position, but I might just give it a go as long as I've got enough room on either side. So we're rolling back onto the shoulders. As we return, use the arms, maybe separate the feet, separate the knees, and maybe you can end up into a squat position that you could come up to standing from there. Okay, so just have a little play really. That's all we're doing, having a little play about, see if we can just make some improvements. Not quite there. See if we can challenge ourselves, find some progressions. One more to go. And then peeling back down into that rolling like a ball position again. Just take a little easy rock side to side. Okay. So let's slide those feet away. We're going to do an exercise here, a little prep exercise to help to get a little bit more of an understanding of the exercise leg circles. Okay, so we're going to fold one knee in. So I'm going to start with my left knee. I'm going to bring my right hand to my left knee, my left hand out to the side, and I'm going to draw my knee across and find a thigh stretch here. Okay, so finding that thigh stretch by guiding the knee, pulling the knee across. Okay, and now we're going to roll back to centre. Now we're going to do a little differently to find more of a spine twist, more of a spine stretch. Shin parallel with the floor. This time I'm going to lift my left thigh. Keep lifting and as I twist my body. This time twisting my spine a little bit more, not pulling on my leg. My leg is just going with my pelvis, which is lifted off the floor. Okay, so I'm in a spine twist here. I'm going just as far as I can without the shoulder blade of the left arm coming off the floor. So a little bit more work from the centre. Roll back, return the foot, slide the foot away. Let's bring the right knee up. left arm out to the side, left hand on the kneecap, shin is parallel, and now I'm going to guide the knee across to do my thigh stretch. So we just want you to notice the difference between the two movements. This is a thigh stretch, I'm in less rotation of the spine, I'm pulling the knee across, so I'm getting that stretch in the outside of the thigh. Good, quite nice to get that thigh stretch, but I just wanted to show you the difference between the two. Come back to the centre though, so this time I'm going to get the lift up and find that guide across. Okay, lift up and guide across. Good. So try and feel there's that difference there. This is more spinal rotation than hip stretch. And then guide the leg back. So we're going to translate that lift, that twist of the pelvis and spine into the next exercise, leg circles, where we utilise that twist of the spine. So we're going to bring, let's start with the right leg, which is this one, I think. Yeah. Straight up to the ceiling. I'm going to press that left heel down into the floor. I'm going to press my arms down into the floor and see if I can find a little bit more height, a little bit straighter leg. So I'm at the top of my circle. So I'm going to send my right foot over to the left. So I lift my hip. My bottom on the right side comes off the floor as I come out to the side, and then I circle down, my bottom comes down, the pelvis stays still now as I circle my leg out to the side and back to the top. Breathing in. Lift. Sweep down, out, and back up, breathing in. Lift, down, round out and back up. Super long leg, super energy through that leg. Point through the toes. One more on the side, cross, sweep down, out and back up, 3 in the opposite direction. So pelvis still as I take the leg out, sweep down and I cross and lift and up to the top. Cross and lift and up to the top. One more then, out, down, cross, lift, out and up. Fold the knee and hold that leg, give it a little squeeze. Okay, let's slide that foot away. Let's bring the left leg up. So think pressing the heels down first, pressing the arms down. Left leg straight up, softly point the toes. I'm still in a little turn out both legs. That right leg is working hard to stay down to the floor. My arms are pushing energy through all my body here, utilising every part of my body. So it's a lift and a cross to begin with. Sweep down, pelvis still, out and back up. Pause at the top. Super long leg, energy through the leg, through the toes. Breathing in as we start. Lift the hip. Sweep down, pelvis steady and come back up. Lift, sweep down, out and back up. Changing direction, then we go out. Sweep down, cross, lift and back up. One more, out. Sweep down, cross and back up. Fold the knee, give it a squeeze, pull it in. Good. Okay, so we're going to have a go at single leg stretch from standing to see if we can learn a little bit about single leg stretch from standing position. Let's rock up to seated. We're going to come up. So single leg stretch, that's what we're going to think about. Can we bring our feet together so there's an element of balance in this one? Press through the floor, standing tall. Can you shift the weight to one foot, and can you bring the right foot off the floor and bring all the way in if you can and hold it, pull it in. Good, pause and breathe. And return. Shift the weight to the second side, draw it in, pull that leg in. Breathe and return. If it's really wobbly, thinking about that standing foot pressing down through the floor, down into the basement, push the floor away, grow taller. So think of the importance of that standing leg. And we're going to use that feeling of support from that standing leg, the straight leg, in single leg stretch. So the name single leg stretch refers to the straight leg stretching as opposed to the knee pulling in. It's not called single knee pull, single leg stretch. It's that straight leg which is perhaps the important one, the focus on in our single leg stretch. Okay, press the foot through the floor, get long through that leg, get long through that spine, and return. Okay, so we can have a go at that down on the mat now. So coming down in one of those methods that we utilised before, coming onto your back, ready for single leg stretch. So arms are down to the side, heels are together, softly pointing the toes, gently drawing in. Feel that little narrowing of the sit bones, that connection building in your centre. So we're already there. Okay, so we're going to use our curl up. Take a breath, the back of the head slides, curling your neck, and then curling your chest. Draw one knee in, pull it in towards you and get a little bit more height and get that lower back a little longer. So now pulling in, looking at that straight leg, float it off the floor a few inches. A lot of energy through that straight leg, reaching now towards that far wall. Keep that height as you inhale, switch legs, pull in. Use that pull in to help your curl up. Inhale, keep that pull, keep that lift as rather. Push all the breath out. Inhale, switch, push that breath out. Fire at that target. Really super long leg, that's where we're finding our stretch. Reaching that leg out, almost out from that hip joint. Inhale, switch. Pull that knee in, full flexion, use that pull, help your curl up. Last one. Come back to that position. We're going to have a go at double leg stretch. Keep that curl up if you can. Okay, so we exhale to prepare. Inhale, send the legs long, hold the outside of the thighs and squeeze. Draw back in, push the breath out and pull yourself into your rolling like a ball position. Inhale, squeeze, exhale. Keeping that lower back really long. Don't let it come away from the floor as you extend the legs. If it's coming away from the floor, bring the feet higher. Exhale, pull back in. Inhale, exhale. One more of these. Inhale, squeeze, keep that chest lifted, keep that long lower back, pull in. Lower your head down for a moment. Okay, we're going to combine double leg stretch with rolling like a ball. Little rolls like a ball. And you lift the back of the pelvis, lift your head, rock, small rocks, 1, 2, keep that lower back down, 3, extend the legs, reach away into that double leg stretch, inhale, and then draw in, 3 small rocks. Last one, inhale, extend the legs, 3 small rocks. Extend the legs, breathe in, and last one. 3 small rocks. Extend the legs. Good, bring yourself into that ball, lower your head down, take a little rock side to side. Good, challenging exercise. Okay, can we go back up to standing to have a go at some exercises that we can translate to our seated position. So you're going to rock yourself up. Maybe you're going to rock to the shoulders and then stand up from this position. Maybe you can have a go at that. And standing. Going to do standing, spine stretch forward and standing saw. Let me see if we can learn something that might be useful that we can then translate to the mat. So our feet are going to be wider here. So our feet are towards the outside of the hip width. and toes just slightly turned out, so it's a natural position. Okay, so feet are outside or a little wider than the outside width of the hips, a little bit turned out, feet grounded into the floor. So our spine stretch forward start position is sitting tall on the mat. So we're going to bring our hands to our hips and we're going to hinge forward, hinge over, keeping the spine straight. I'll do it from the side. Just notice that we're not rounding the back, we're pushing the bottom out, we're lengthening the crown, your head is in line with your back till you find your hamstring stretch. So that's what you should be feeling, big stretch on the hamstrings, and just using your core to keep from collapsing here. So it feels quite different to doing it on the mat, but I want you to find that big stretch on the back of the legs, straight legs, the feet are flexed obviously because they are flat on the floor, and then use your tummy, hinge back up. So just do that a couple of times, adjust the feet as you feel necessary. Hinge, so you feel that stretch, without letting your head drop, without letting your shoulders collapse, without losing neutral spine. Return back. So let's find that position again. So this is our start position for spine stretch forwards. Stretch the spine forwards, round the spine, look between the legs, maybe hold on to the legs, looking, now you're in a rounded spine, you're in that full hip flexion, we've still got that stretch on the legs, so this is the end position basically for spine stretch forwards, and then can you straighten your spine first, so reach your crown and tail away from one another until you find that straight spine again, and then hinge back to the start. Let's do that again. Take a breath. Hinge, then round. Draw that tummy in, look between the legs. Breathe. Now return to that hinge position. Grow tall through your crown, through your tailbone. Straighten out your back, and then hinge to return. Okay. So we're going to apply that to the mat in our spine stretch forwards. But first we're going to have a go at standing saw and see if we can utilise something that we learn in the standing method and then take it down to the floor. So that same position with the legs, we're going to take one arm out and up onto a diagonal. We're going to start the same way, so it's a hinge from the hips, then we're going to flex the spine, use the hand as you slice to the outside of the opposite foot, the free hand comes up to the ceiling and reach and press against that ankle, that foot, that leg, and then return back to your hinge position and then return back up, extending from the hips. Okay, let's do that again. Two more on this same side. So it's a hinge, flex, reach, look where you're lifting your arm to, press against that foot, breathe, and then return back up. Just notice as we do this. The next one, has your bottom shifted? Did your knees bend? Can you keep your bottom square with the back of the wall or the wall behind, not shifting? Okay. Float that arm on. Let's try three on the second side. Come up, arm in line, or in a diagonal line. So we're going to hinge first, flex, and as we send the arm down, reach and twist and press against that foot to get a little bit more leverage. Reaching, did your bottom shift, did your knee bend? Return back to standing, breathing in. Hinge, flex, twist, reach, return, and back. Last one. Hinge, flex, reach, return. Good, float the arm down. So let's have a go at that now from a seated position. So coming down in one of your new methods that you found today, and sit tall. I'll do this from the side to begin with. So I'll move my camera so you can see, and then I'll do it from the front. Okay, so our feet about hip, about the width of the mat, I should say. The feet are flexed. So imagine we're against the floor again with the feet. Legs as straight as you can make them. You may need a block under your bottom to make this a bit more achievable, so you can sit up straight. So remember that feeling that we got from that hinge position. We got a stretch on the back of the legs. So let's find that stretch on the back of the legs. Okay, flex those feet. Press those legs down. Find that stretch and restack or stack up your spine. Good, fingertips down to the floor. Just grow a little bit tall, push the floor away. Breathing in, spine stretch forward. So as you breathe out, rounding over those legs. Slide the hands forwards. Place them down on the floor. A little traction just to grow a little longer. Press those legs down a little firmer. Flex those feet a little more. Breathe. And then slide the hands back. Restack your spine. Find that position of the legs again where you are getting a hamstring stretch. Breathe. Exhale. Rounding over, sliding the hands down. Little traction along the floor like you're trying to lengthen and pull yourself forwards, but without letting those knees come off. Breathe and then restack. Let's do a couple more. Nice big breath in, filling up 2 balloons. As you breathe out, exhaling, emptying those 2 balloons. Feet flexing. Stay in this stretchful position as you inflate the ribs, the back of the ribs like a sail, filling with air. And then roll yourself back. Restack. Good, let's do that one more time. Really active through those legs. Flexed feet. Shoulders back, chest forwards. Exhale, empty those balloons. Hands on the floor, little traction forwards. Fill the air in the lungs, the back of the ribs like a sail. And then roll yourself back. Restack the spine. So let's go into saw. I'll do this on the screen. So feet are wide, those legs are down, our feet are flexed. We're sitting tall. Take the arms wide and just bring the arms back to really open the collarbones and narrow the shoulder blades. So with this first part, we're twisting from the spine, not from the arms yet. So find that twist first. Then up and over. One hand to the outside of the foot without letting the opposite sit bone or knee come away from the floor. 3 reaches. 1, 2, 3. Restack. Bring the arms back. Feet flex. So we're moving from the body of your plane, not your wings first. Twist. Then round, up and over, reach. 1, 2, 3, get a little further by that 3rd reach, come back to centre, breathe, twist, push all that breath out, like bellows, empty the bellows, inhale, use that breath in to help to restack, filling up those balloons, exhale, 1, 2, and get a little further, press against that foot, good, feet flex, a lot of energy through those legs, press them down, 1, 2, 3, good, restack, twist from the body if you're playing last one, then 1, 2, 3, restack, come back to centre, bring the legs in, bring the hands behind you, perhaps give the knees and legs a little roll, a little wobble. Good, just releasing those muscles around the back of the legs. Okay. So let's now go into prone position, lying on our front. We're going to find that same position with the heels together, toes are in a turnout, and you're going to bring your hands under, kind of under your armpits, so your elbows are up, and draw your elbows towards one another behind your back. So bring your hands close in, tucked in underneath, right up against your upper chest. Tuck your chin so your forehead is on the mat or a cushion here. Now start with that squeeze of the heels. This time, that squeeze, that drawing in until you feel the hip bones just pressing down into the floor a little way. The tummy muscles just drawing up to your spine a little. Good, draw those shoulders back and narrow those elbows in, so active through those arms and opening up through the front of the chest. Take a breath. Imagine now there's a marble on the bridge of your nose as you roll it forwards and peeling up. And just notice how far you can peel up without this compressing into the lower back, without this kind of wrinkling the lower back. Any wrinkling might be the upper, behind the shoulders, so that's where extending, not into the lower back. Think of that flat lower back and that tummy drawing in, and then peeling down.
tuck the chin. So this time a little bit more energy through the legs. So draw those legs together, feel those hip bones pressing down, the tummy muscles drawing up, and really lengthen through the toes now. So getting longer through those legs as you roll, draw those elbows in, and start to feel the legs can get a little lighter, they may even float off the floor. Can you hold that height now and float your arms off the floor? Breathe. Can you hold the height of the chest and the legs and reach the arms forwards? Keep that height. Bring the arms back. Bring the hands down. The feet rolling down through the ribs, that tuck of the chin. Breathing in there. Heels squeezing, long legs. Tummy drawing up. Heels, elbows drawing in. Roll the marble away. Heeling up. Might find a little float of the legs. Maybe can we float the arms here without losing the height of the chest? Without losing the height of the chest, can you take the arms forwards? Bring the arms back. Breathe, hands down, feet rolling down through the ribs. Tuck the chin. We can do this 2 more times. Heels, long legs, tone in the legs, energy, hip bones pressing, tummy drawing up, roll, heel, up. See how far you can peel up to without it compressing in that lower back. Can we float the legs, float the arms, breathe in. Shoot the arms forwards, bring them back. Hands, feet, rolling down. Tuck. Last one. Energy through those heels, lengthen those legs. Heeling up, floating. Breathe, reaching forwards if you can keep the height of the chest. Bring the arms back, hands back, toes rolling down. Good. Okay, let the feet just roll in and out a couple of times. Can we tuck the toes under now? Feet, the toes apart. We can have the heels together or the feet can be parallel. We're going to bring those hands down. We're going to draw those elbows in. Can we find that energy through the heels so the knees float off the floor? And tuck the toes under a little bit more if we can. So if we can see if we can come into a plank position from here. Roll the marble away. Find that energy through the tummy. If you feel you can, lift yourself up in one straight line. Otherwise, bring your knees down to the floor first. Get your plank lift. If your knees are down on the floor, can you bring them up off the floor, find a long straight line. Press those heels back, get that nice calf stretch. Lengthen the back of the neck. Breathing here. And then either bring the knees down first if you need to, or lower down with control without going into a banana shape. Tummy, ribs, forehead. Just take a moment to relax. Let's try that again. So heels pressing back, lifting the knees if we're going to go for the straight lift, or keep the knees down. Roll the marble away so we're getting a little extension first. Energy through the tummy as you push the floor away. Press those heels back, lengthen the back of the neck. Breathing here. And if we're able to, a straight line coming down on knees first. Good, let's do that one last time. Press those heels back. Energy through the legs, hip bones pressing down, tummy drawing in, rolling the marble away. We've got that, all that support needed. Push the floor away with the knees down, or then bring the knees up. Breathing in. Good, maintain that position. Can we lift up into a pike? Push back into a pike. Now walk the hands back to flat feet. With the bottom of a roll down. Take a moment. Keep the hands and feet flat. Bend the knees as much as you need to be able to sustain that. Head heavy. Check in with the head. Heavy, heavy head. Heavy arms. Take a breath now. Scoop that tummy and start to peel yourself up. Keeping that relaxation through the upper body. Heavy head, heavy arms as you roll yourself up to stand. Good, so we're going to finish the session standing. So let's come back to that start position, or that position we've been doing all day. Heels together, little V shape with the feet. Energy through the feet, the toes spreading. Length through your spine. Good, can we float the heels up off the floor without letting the heels come apart? Keep those heels together, keep that drawing in sensation, that lift up those tight jeans on. Breathe,
Then you keep those heels up now as you bend the knees. Try and keep your back straight as if you're sliding down a wall. Just see how far you're happy to go here. Pause, breathe, and then push the floor away, straightening up and lower the heels. Checking the shoulders nice and relaxed. Let's do that again. Spread the toes first. Rock back to the heels and shift the weight forward. Spread those toes. Heeling up without losing that connection of the heels and bending the knees. As low as you feel happy to go with control. Breathe. And then push the floor away. Heels down. Take the weight back. Do that one more time. Spread the toes. Shift the weight forwards. Lift the heels. Breathe. Bend the knees. Imagine you're sliding down the wall. Take a breath. And then push the floor away. Heels down. Good. Shake the feet out. Shake the hands. A little shake with the shoulders. A little easy turn of the head. Okay, well done everyone. Good class today. Hope you enjoyed it. And look forward to seeing you next week.